Hello, happy Wednesday. Okay, yesterday we did the elements of literature for Farmer Boy and then the drawing page. It's kind of a way to remember what has been happening from lesson 10 on from chapter 10. So the character part is identify the character is new to Farmer Boy since lesson 10. So those people are Horsebuyer, which, remember, the one that kind of tried to take advantage of the Wilders, but then the Strange Dog, which is character number 2, came and protected them all night. Then who remembers Nick Brown? He's the tin peddler, the one that came with all the tin and Mom and him bargained. Cousin Frank. Now, we did see Cousin Frank earlier, but not as much as we saw him now, recently in Independence Day, where he actually, my dog is wanting out, but I need to video this, where actually he had more of a relationship with Almanzo, that they talked more. And remember, he's a city boy, and so they kind of had more, he's more into the money and the clothes and the good things like that. And then Mr. Paddock Mr. Paddock, I believe he's the one, Olo and I were talking about this, he's the one that Dad was talking to when he gave the quarter, or how much money did he give him in Independence Day? So Mr. Paddock. Okay, the setting. Setting means a time and place in which the story happens. Describe the Wilders farm at the turn of the year. So the turn of the year is December to January, the beginning of the year. I'm going to read this how they put it, so kind of if you guys got something like that. The days are getting longer. There is more intense cold. Sap begins to rise in the trees. Remember that they go out for the sap often, and him and Dad and Almanzo, and they keep it on the fire so it doesn't freeze up or anything, that they keep it warm. And the snow softens and begins to melt. Well, if it's beginning to melt, then it's going into the next season, into spring. So it says, describe the Wilders farm in the spring. The meadows are dewy, the fields are lumpy and need harrowing, the weather is warmer, and the leaves are beginning to bud. So you're beginning to see more life. It's like spring here when we start seeing the color on the trees, which we are right now. You can kind of see some of the trees getting their flowering and stuff. So with that, and I was talking that they're starting to do their harvesting, or starting to do their planting at that time. So describe the Wilders farm in the summer. The sunshine is hot, plants are growing quickly, and the berries are ready to be picked. Berries can't be picked too late because they do burn if they're too late. Describe the Wilders farm in the fall. The crops are ripe, there is a frosty chill in the air, and the plants in the garden are ripe. So that's when they're starting to really finish up start their harvesting, really get their potatoes and everything like that. Plot means action or what happens in the story. So I want to hear what your guys' favorite parts have been so far. I have a sneaky suspicion that a few of you guys are going to put when the pig ate the candy, when Almanzo gave the pig the candy, and the pig couldn't open his mouth, and it was a whole wreaking havoc everywhere, which was a fun part in our book. I know it was a time that I enjoyed reading about. But, so I can't wait to hear what you guys have wrote about. I can't wait to see what you guys wrote about and what part you guys like the best so far from lesson 10, chapter 10 and on. Today you guys are going to look at County Fair. Now, here's the thing, is in your packet you're going to see 2 pages. They're going to look like this. The quiz review, the vocab and the quiz review. We're going to skip it. I have it in there, but skip those. Just put them, why don't you go ahead and, so they don't get in your way, put them at the back behind your papers on the literature side of your notebook. Because if you do that, then they're not going to get in your way, and you don't have to don't throw them away, just put them in the back. So then your parents won't go, you forgot to do this. And you go, oh no, what happened? Just put them behind. You guys can put a little note on it that Mrs. Shaver said, don't do this right now. We'll work on it or look at it later, because I do feel that vocabulary words are very important. So county fair, so you're going to look at page 54 and 55. Your reading notes are thoroughbred, a horse bred chiefly for racing. So it's like of a good breed, the horses. Haunch, the back, upper leg, and thigh of an animal. Sulky, an open two-wheeled vehicle drawn by one horse used in harness racing. So I believe that we see a picture of it in this chapter. And yep, you guys will see this picture in there, which is fun. You see the sulky. Okay, here's your vocabulary words. People were clustered like flies. Clustered means grouped. If you're in a cluster, you're in a group. So that clustered means grouped. Grouped. The ground there was trodden into deep dust by the crowd. Trodden. Trampled or worn down. Trampled. T-R-A-M-P-L-E-D. Or worn down. Worn down. Those long ears stood up above their long, gaunt faces. Lean faces. Lean faces. Father pried off the cover of one barrel. So open, had to pry it open, right? Open with leverage, like really get it open. But I would rather get something more substantial for mine. Valuable or lasting. Valuable or lasting. Something more substantial for mine. Go ahead and look through that, read through that. It's really interesting because it's county fair. Remember the pumpkin that Almanzo's been raising with the milk? Talk a little bit more about that. We'll talk about that and as he competes with it and what happens with that, which is really interesting. So you've got these questions. What is the first thing Almanzo wants to see at the fair? Take a wild guess because it's what he loves the most. I want you guys to do all of it, and I want you to really, really work on that arrangement. I want it to be perfect. I want your print perfect. Make it nice and neat. Your letters about the same size each and not all over the place, okay? Tomorrow I will go over answers with you. I can't wait to talk more about this, but really think about that milk-fed pumpkin. Maybe that's something some people might want to try this year. I want to look it up and see how to actually do that, because they cut off, remember he cut off all the branches around it and just had the one feeding into it. So please, I can't wait until I get to hear what you guys think about this chapter, County Fair. So today I will see you at 10:30. Some of you guys at 10:30 on Zoom, and then 6 o'clock at Zoom. If you want a one-on-one Zoom with me, I would love it. We can go over some of these questions for our literature, or we can talk about some things that happened on the test. If you had some questions or something, I would love to talk more about it. And don't forget to do all of your work and get everything done and turned in. This will be due, the literature will be due tomorrow, but I will go over the answers and everything with you tomorrow, okay? Have a great day. Bye.